Powerful magnitude 7.6 earthquake strikes the Caribbean, triggering tsunami alerts and evacuations. Massive quake rattles the region, several nations issue warnings. Mexico City, a powerful magnitude 7.6 earthquake struck the Caribbean Sea southwest of the Cayman Islands on Saturday evening, prompting tsunami warnings and advisories across multiple nations. The tremor, which occurred at 6:23 p.m. local time, had a shallow depth of 10 kilometers, 6.2 miles, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS. The earthquake's epicenter was located approximately 130 miles, 209 kilometers, south-southwest of Georgetown in the Cayman Islands, sending tremors that were felt across parts of the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Cuba, Honduras, and the Dominican Republic. Given the quake's magnitude and depth, tsunami warnings were swiftly issued for certain coastal areas. Immediate tsunami threat and government responses following the earthquake. The U.S. National Tsunami Warning Center, NTWC, confirmed that no tsunami threat was posed to the U.S. mainland. However, the agency issued a tsunami advisory for Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands, warning of potential minor sea level fluctuations. Several governments across the region issued precautionary evacuation orders and advisories for coastal communities. Cayman Islands, the country's hazard management agency, urged all residents near the coastline to move inland and seek higher ground immediately. Authorities warned that waves between 0.3 to 1 meter, 1 to 3 feet, above normal tide levels were expected along the country's coast. Puerto Rico, Governor Jennifer Gonzalez Colon stated that she was in direct communication with emergency agencies, urging residents to remain cautious. However, she did not issue an evacuation order. Dominican Republic, the government issued a nationwide tsunami alert, directing coastal residents to move to higher ground of at least 20 meters, 65 feet, in elevation and 2 kilometers, 1.2 miles, inland. Maritime authorities also warned ships to avoid entering the sea for the next few hours due to potential wave surges. Cuba, the Cuban government requested all people living in beachfront areas to evacuate immediately as a precaution. Honduras, although Honduran authorities did not report immediate damage, officials urged residents to stay away from beaches in case of rising sea levels or aftershocks. NOAA forecast and tsunami wave projections. A report from the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, later indicated that tsunami waves ranging from 1 to 3 meters, 3 to 10 feet, above normal tide levels were possible along certain coasts of Cuba. Additionally, waves between 0.3 and 1 meter, 1 to 3 feet, were expected to impact Honduras and the Cayman Islands. NOAA emphasized that actual wave heights at the coast could vary significantly due to local underwater geography, forecast uncertainties, and coastal terrain. Emergency management agencies across affected countries remained on high alert as authorities monitored sea levels and possible secondary tremors. Eyewitness accounts. Residents described the impact. Though no major structural damage has been reported as of yet, residents across multiple Caribbean nations described strong, prolonged shaking that lasted for several seconds. In the Cayman Islands, social media users reported swaying buildings, cracked walls, and objects falling from shelves. Some residents in Georgetown evacuated homes and workplaces in fear of potential aftershocks. In Cuba's southern provinces, videos shared online showed hundreds of people evacuating to open spaces as the quake sent tremors through buildings. Residents in Santiago de Cuba, Guantanamo, and Holguin felt the earthquake, with some reporting that windows and doors rattled violently. In Honduras, the earthquake was felt along the northern coast, with residents in La Ceiba and Puerto Cortes describing mild shaking that prompted some to evacuate coastal homes temporarily. In the Dominican Republic, tremors were felt in Santo Domingo and other coastal areas, where people briefly evacuated buildings as a precaution. Aftershock concerns and ongoing monitoring. Seismologists have warned of potential aftershocks in the coming hours or days, which could pose additional threats to already affected regions. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, PTWC, and regional geological agencies are closely monitoring the situation to assess whether further advisories or warnings are necessary. Authorities are urging residents to remain vigilant and to follow official announcements rather than relying on unverified information circulating on social media. Preparedness and emergency response teams in multiple nations are assessing potential damage and coordinating with local authorities to ensure the safety of residents. The following precautions have been recommended. Residents in coastal areas should remain in higher ground until officials confirm the tsunami threat has passed. Avoid entering the sea for at least 12 hours, as unpredictable aftershocks and underwater seismic activity could generate unexpected waves. Monitor official government and emergency agency updates regarding further developments or aftershock risks. Keep emergency kits ready, including drinking water, flashlights, and first aid supplies, in case of further seismic activity. As damage assessments continue, officials will provide updates on the impact of the quake and the status of tsunami advisories. Conclusion: the magnitude 7.6 earthquake in the Caribbean has triggered a widespread emergency response, affecting several nations with tsunami advisories and evacuations. While no immediate major damage has been reported, the potential for aftershocks and tsunami waves remains a concern. Governments and disaster management agencies continue to monitor the situation closely and have urged the public to remain cautious, follow emergency protocols, and stay informed through official sources.